How many of you have put more pressure on yourself than you could have ever imagined over the years? Just felt like, you know what? This is a whole lot of pressure that I'm putting on me. And for what? Many times when we think about anything in life, we can put too much thought into it to the point where we are considering ourselves overthinking the situation. So tonight I want to make sure that I talk with you about the importance of not overthinking. And you can take notes as we go through and apply the points that I'll share with you on this evening. You can also share this video with your friends, your family, your loved ones, people that are home right now, literally just sitting home thinking. That's what all of us get the opportunity to do right now. If we don't do anything else in life, we definitely get the opportunity to think about everything. Think about what's going on in our lives, what's going on in our families, what's going on from school perspective, what's going on in our ministries, what's going on with our loved ones, with our children, with our spouses, whatever you have that is running through your head, it's called, we're thinking about it. Now, it's nothing wrong with putting a thought to something because it's very normal. If you're not thinking, then you pretty much pass away. So thinking is normal. It's a process that we all do and go through every day. That's normal. We're not on an island by ourselves. If we're out thinking about something and putting some thought to it and pondering on it and I wonder what this is about and what this is about and what this means and what that means. That happens to every single person on earth. But when you start to put too much time into it where it starts to stress you out and you're like delving into it so aggressively and I really got to get to the bottom of this. I got to think about this. I got to understand this. I got to process this. I got to really understand to the point where it's plaguing you as a person. That's called overthinking. So you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're constantly overthinking about scenarios and situations where it then becomes physically harmful to you. If you find that that's the case where you're starting to get some type of stress-related anxiety or frustration, or you're feeling like you need to seek a medical professional because of something that you're just simply thinking about, you're overthinking it, okay? So make sure you understand if it leads to physical stress in any way, shape, or form, you're putting too much thought into it. Somebody make sure you type that. If you're putting too much thought into something, then that's considered overthinking, especially if it leads to physical, harmful outcomes to your body. To just have a general thought is normal. So you're not on an island by yourself. If you're thinking about different things and how it impacted your life and how things are playing out, those are normal thoughts. But when you start to have that physical feeling, that's when you realize it's starting to be too much. It's plaguing me. It's aggravating me. It's stressing me out. And that's where you want to find yourself in life. Trying to read the other person's mind is something that people do sometimes. And I recommend that if you're a person that, hey, Lady Kim Langford, how are you? And Sean Hall and Karen Stewart, it's a great pleasure to have you guys on this evening. I can't see all of the names that are on, but I do see that quite a few other people are on as well. Oliver Solomon and so forth. I'm glad to have you all on this evening. Tonight we're talking about overthinking, how we can put too much thought into a situation where it ends up working for your bad versus your good, and how we can overcome that. One thing that people do often is read another person's mind. We go to the extreme of saying, what if they're thinking this about what I'm saying? Or I wonder what they're thinking about what I'm actually talking about right now. For example, the video that I'm doing right now. Oh, how are they receiving it? What are they thinking? Are they thinking that I'm talking about them, or are they upset about what I'm talking about? That's called overthinking. Guess what? If you're speaking the truth and you know that what you're sharing is valuable information and it's information that's going to help someone in life, whether it be one person or 10,000 people or 50,000 people at an arena, speak the truth and just share the information. And don't worry about on the other end if it's being received in a way that was opposite of how you intended for it to be. Now, as long as you know that you're not putting something out that's harmful to a specific person and that's not the intent behind what you're doing, stop stressing yourself out. Share the truth, share your information, share the story, share whatever it is that you're comfortable with sharing that's going to help someone else in life. So don't try to read someone else's mind. I haven't even gotten to the points yet, but that's an important point. Don't try to read another person's mind, because guess what? You are not able to be in someone else's mind and know what they're thinking. Who are we to determine what someone else is thinking? All you can do is share the information, and once you put it out there, it's out there. Hopefully it will help someone to be able to have a better outcome in their own lives, because that's what you're attempting to do, to help someone. And keep it moving. Keep it moving. I'll tell you guys that for me, right now at this phase of my life, I am determined to not leave any stone unturned. Whatever God has for me is what I'm going to pursue. And I have made a wholehearted commitment that, God, whatever it is that you want me to be doing at this season of my life, I am going to do it with everything I can within me. And some things I'm like nervous about, and I'm like, oh man, I don't really feel comfortable doing this or saying this, or why would I have to be the person to say this? There's so many things that go through your mind. But at the end of the day, I said, God, you know what? I don't know why you're choosing me to do certain things, and why you're allowing me to go through certain things, and why you have decided that I'm going to be the voice for certain things. But guess what? I only know in part. He knows everything, because he's omnipotent and omniscient. He can do and know everything. I only know in little pieces. So whatever the reason is that I'm talking to you today about overthinking things, God already knows who it's going to help, how it's going to help you, and how it's going to get you to the other side of your life. So let's not worry about being so stressed about how something is, why you're the person, why you're the vehicle, why you're the vessel. God maybe chose you or allowed you for whatever the reason, because he knew on the other end how it was going to impact and help someone else's life. A note that I have here is you're simply stating your opinion. So as long as it's not harmful, make sure that you stick to that and keep it moving. According to multiple psychologists, the more you keep playing things back in your mind over and over and over again, it becomes a vicious cycle. So the goal when you're dealing with overthinking is to be able to break that cycle. How can I stop this vicious, violent cycle that's taking the best of me and my time and my energy? Right now, with people home and you're confined during the coronavirus, we should not be focusing on just all negativity and in things that we can't control in life, but we should focus on what can I be doing right now to better myself? What can I do to be able to offer life my best? And the skills and the talents that God gave me, how can I put them to use? I can put my gifts and my talents to use right here in my home, in my office. I can set my screen the way I need to be able to accomplish my goals and to be able to know that I'm helping someone else in the process. So the things that we can't control that are out of our circle, how many deaths are occurring, how many people are, it's a lot of things happening right now. How many people are actually contracting the virus, who's passing from the virus, what the media and the news is saying about so many different things. And I've done my own share of significant amount of research. But at the end of the day, I realized that I can't control any of the things that's happening in the world right now. But the thing that I can control is how I impact the world. And so as I share videos and things with you, it's things that God puts in my spirit to impart to you. I hope you receive it. I'm not going to think another thing about it after I do it, except for praise God, it blessed somebody because God gave it to me to bless someone, and I'm leaving it at that. Okay? So you can officially train your brain to stop doing this. And this particular point came from psychologist Pittman. He says that just by telling yourself not to have a thought does not make you not have that thought. So if you say, I'm not going to think about dogs today. Well, guess what you're going to do? All day long, every time you see something, it's going to be like, it's going to put you in the mind of dogs. It's like, there's a dog. There's a dog. Oh my God, that's a cute Labradoodle. Oh my God, that's a nice Labrador Retriever. Oh my God, oh, that's beautiful. All day long, you're going to be thinking about dogs. Commercials are going to be coming on about dogs. Because guess what? You're attracting that into your mindset. It's something you're saying you're not going to do and you're not going to focus on. For example, if you say, I'm not going to focus on this person that aggravates me, but everything you're doing and saying is aggravates you. So, hello, be gone, boop, out of my thought process, right? Don't manifest it and bring it into your psyche by talking about it all the time and humdrum, woe is me, because that's what you're going to focus on. That's a part of what the psychologist is saying. Now, the examples I gave are not what the psychologist said. I'm just giving my own example. But you want to get a different image in your mind. Definitely get something separate in your mind. Say if you're saying, I don't want to think about dogs, then maybe today you'll say, I just really want to focus on beautiful butterflies and how they metamorph and how they go into this cocoon and then ultimately they go through crystallisis. And I want to learn the process of being able to let go of being in a cocoon and morphing to a beautiful being of a butterfly. Well, now I'm putting in my mind the whole imagery that I want to focus on that day, instead of something that I said I really don't want to be my issue for the day in my mind and it's plaguing me. So what does that mean for you? What that means is, if you in your mind say that today I want to focus on my goals and my dreams and I want to write them down and I really want to make sure that I start taking action steps towards accomplishing my goals and dreams, then guess what you're going to do? Every day you're going to do something that gets you closer to realizing your dream, and it will become a reality sooner than you ever even thought possible, because you're focusing and you're giving the energy and the attention that's needed to that thing that you're thinking about. So try that. I'm telling you. And I don't like even using the word try, because either you're going to do something or you're not. So it's either I am working on my goals and my dreams or I'm not working on my goals and my dreams. It's not a matter of, girl, I'm trying my best to work on my goals and my dreams. No, you're not, because if you're using certain words and verbiage, you're not doing it. So we have to eliminate certain vocabulary out of our word choice by just saying, I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. Just to come on and do the video. There are some other things that I'm preparing to do and things that I have going on, but I made a commitment that this is something I want to talk about today. And in the midst of all of the other things that are on people's schedules and things that people have going on, I can easily fill my schedule with so many things. But at the end of the day, when do I get my goals and my dreams accomplished? That's when you decide to put those kinds of thoughts into your head. Okay, let's go on. Let me one thing here. Give me 1 second here. Okay. So get a different image in your mind. That's point number 1. If you want to stop overthinking, put a different image in your mind. Point number 2, you want to have more positive self-talk. The more positive you are towards yourself, like take yourself out of it. Like, for example, Kim, now you know this is not going to end well for you if you keep thinking about this. You can actually talk yourself into oblivion, and you can know that you're doing it. So positive self-talk does make a difference, because if you're beating yourself up and you're saying these things to yourself in a mirror or in your bed or in your private time and you're beating on yourself, the outcome can only be negative. So you have to make a conscious decision to say, you know what? I am my best friend, myself. I love myself. I am grateful for who God created me to be. I am more than enough. I am more than a blessing to the world. And I am grateful that God selected me to be a blessing to this world. And the whole world every single person that God created brings a gift and a talent and a story to the universe that actually helps to shape the outcome of somebody else's life. So having some level of positive self-talk is so necessary. If you just sit and beat yourself up all the time, you're going to be way worse than overthinking. You're going to be in the hospital having to have some serious attention given to you from a mental perspective, because life can get very challenging. Things that happen in life can knock you off your rocker to the point where you're like, I really just never saw that coming. That's not something I could have even envisioned in my mindset that was even possible. But guess what? It was possible. And when you realize and come into the knowledge of the truth that certain things happen in life that are out of your control, you have to then decide, how am I going to still be my best self through life's circumstances, through life's situations? How am I still going to put my best foot forward to say, I'm still a child of God. I still make a difference in this world. I still can accomplish great things. It may not have been the way that I thought it was going to happen, but guess what? God makes everything possible to him who believes. And so if we trust and believe that he is going to order our steps, then our steps will be just fine. May not be the steps we thought, but guess what? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just go with God's plan. How about that? Okay, point number 3. Let me see any comments too. I'll make sure I agree. Is what really happened. That's important to talk about. There are some things that we get in our minds, and in some instances we talk ourselves into oblivion. That's the only word I could think of, because sometimes we're talking ourselves off of a cliff. It's like, but what if this happens? Oh my God, what if this happens? And what if they get this? And what if they get this? And oh my God, this could happen. And this could happen. And this could happen. And guess what? Sometimes what you're thinking really does happen. It genuinely happens. And you're like, great, I saw that coming. I thought that could happen, and it did. And then there are times when you have thoughts and you say, you know, I'm putting a lot of thought into this, and this might happen, and this might, I bet this is happening, and I bet that's happening. And guess what? It's not happening at all. So you really have to have that fine balance. I'm Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor. So when I'm talking to you, it's from a balanced perspective on how you're going to mentally maintain your sanity through different circumstances and situations that you're facing in life. And we all have circumstances and things that happen to us that we thought was going to happen, and it did, and things that we thought were going to happen, and it didn't. So then you just wasted good brain cells for nothing that didn't even come about. So be mindful when you're thinking about what can and can't happen. Keep in mind that it can happen, it can't happen. What is it? What is it to you? What can you do about it? Even if it does happen, what can you do about it if it's out of your control? Absolutely nothing, except for pray, go on about your business, and ask God to forgive if it's forgiveness needed, and keep it moving, okay? So if you're stuck in a job and you feel like job is just draining me, it's draining my life, it's draining everything about me, then guess what you have control over? Get a new job. Go start putting an application somewhere and start making a decision that I will not be found doing this particular job this time next month. I'm going to give myself a 30-day deadline to go and apply for some new opportunities that would allow me to feel more uplifted and bring more of my skill sets and joy to my employment. Go do what you need to do to be able to see the result that you want come 30 days from now. Now, if you're complaining about your job or you're complaining about your business and you're frustrated and you're like, I just don't like what I'm doing. I don't like the outcome of what I'm seeing. And I really am frustrated in this vein, in this venue, in this spot that I'm in life. Do something about it. Because come 30 days from now, guess what? It's going to be 30 days from now and you're still going to be in the same rut, still thinking about what could happen if you did something differently. How about just put that thought to action and go ahead and do it? Anything that God is putting in my spirit, you're going to see all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff. And guess what? My thought is not on whether you think I should be doing it or not. My thought is, if God put it in my spirit, I am going to do it, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability because there's a reason that he put it in my spirit. And I don't know the reason in detail, and I'm not going to worry about it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to be a vessel and be used to be able to make a difference in somebody else's life. And that I know I'm created to do. I am created to help make a difference and to impact the masses. and to help change people's lives. I already know that. So I'm going to continue to do that. Make sure you journal. That's point number 4. Put some journaling into effect. Not everyone likes to journal. So if you're not that person, you may want to just do some recordings where you just record yourself and save those files. And not everyone likes to physically write. For me, it's very therapeutic. So I got notebooks and notebooks and notebooks and notebooks filled with notes and journaling and all kinds of thoughts, because I want to just get stuff off of me. And I'm like, well, who can I talk to about it? Talk to yourself. Write it. This made me feel like I'm very grateful for this, and I'm thankful to God for this, and oh my gosh, you are a blessing in this area. This really frustrates me. Blah, 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 blah. So whatever it is, journal it and put it down. Get it off of you. Write a letter to somebody that you know you really want to say something to them, but it really doesn't go anywhere. It's just like you're venting. But you're like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe you would even consider doing blah, blah, blah. Do you know how this made me feel? Blah, 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 blah. And you're going in on your letter, but the letter really doesn't get sent. It's a purging of your soul. So that's something you can do. And just journaling about great experiences, about things that are going well in your life, things that are not going that well in your life. Hold on. And just making sure that you actually capture those things, okay? Now, I know I can pause the video. People told me that before. But when I pause it, I really don't want to do that. How about that? And I'm not going to think anything else of it. I just do whatever works for me. Is that fair? And if it's not, it's okay. Because you can do your videos however you want to do your videos. All right. Making sure you journal and do that as much as possible to get it out of your head, out of your mind, and so forth. All right. Number 5, make sure you just go for a walk. I'm telling you, just walking in my neighborhood has been so much fun. It's so therapeutic as well. Not a lot of people walking around, but I think people walk at a different time of the day than I do. Whatever works for you, just go, relax, get your mind, your thoughts centered to say, what am I going to be focusing on next? What are you trying to tell me that's going to help me be a better person, that's going to help me offer life my best self? And that's exciting. Like one thing he told me, I'm taking some menopause stuff because I'm in hot flash mode, and that is interesting. Where I feel like I'm in my own personal furnace. I was like, when I've heard people talk about menopause and stuff in the past, but I didn't know how real it was until it actually started happening to me. I was like, what do you mean? I feel like I'm like seriously being put in a furnace and somebody's stoking the fire. I'm like, this is sick, crazy. I am like burning alive type of thing. That's what I'm thinking, right? And I try to think about something different, right? You know, so I am on a cool, nice surface. Then I'm like, I'm hot. There are times when we're thinking about something and it really is the facts. So it's not like we can just think ourselves out of every bad situation or out of every scenario, because there are times when you're thinking about something, it's a real fact. So I like to put that in perspective too. Hot, I am hot. It's not like, oh, think that you're not hot and you won't be hot. Girl, bye, you hot. I'm hot, okay? And I know that. So I don't need to fake myself out and by saying I'm not hot. So that's not what I'm saying when I'm doing these videos about overthinking. I'm saying when you're thinking about a situation and it's plaguing you and it's causing you physical distress, then center your thoughts and think about something else that you can have a better positive outcome in your life. That's so important. Number 6, if you don't act like something about your life, if you don't like something about your life, then do something to change it. And I talked to you already about a job, and that's the best example I can give you. If you don't like your job or you don't like what you're doing in life, then change it. Just figure out a way to put a strategy in place to make a change, but not in a way that you're just jumping off the deep end and you don't have a plan of action. Because I don't think that people should just say, okay, I don't like this, I'm done. No, put a little more thought to it than that. Like, let's maybe plan out some strategies. What are you going to do? What jobs are you going to apply for? What is going to be some type of industry that would be more appealing to you? you still want it to be fact-based and research-based. And then obviously spiritually based as well. So sometimes people take this great big leap of faith, and that's perfectly fine. If you know that you know that you know that you know that God is putting in your spirit that this is where he wants you to be, and let's go and see what the end's going to be because he's directed your steps there, then by all means, you follow suit with what God has given you. I'm not at all the author and the finisher of your faith. God is. I'm not. Okay? And he'll lead you into the way of all truth according to what he wants you to do in your life. Point number 7, there is no perfect time to do some things. Sometimes we're constantly thinking and overthinking and over processing, and we're waiting for when is going to be the best time for me to roll this out. When would be the best moment for me to announce this? Guess what? Sometimes the perfect time never comes. Do you know how many people had events planned, basketball games planned? We have the Olympics and you name it. And some of these things, concerts, and these things are not going to happen. You know why? Because this virus, the coronavirus, popped up out of nowhere and came into these elements and started changing things. So now where all of these people were waiting for the perfect time to do this perfect event, something came and shook the foundation of the earth, and now it's not happening. So what does that tell you? I can tell you what it tells me. What it tells me is that I can plan all day long for the perfect situation, the perfect women's retreat, the perfect conference, the perfect event, the perfect guest speaker to come in, and I can have all of my hotel stuff confirmed, and I can have the whole layout, all my speakers and my event planned to a science, and something can come in and interrupt that. And when that happens, what are we able to do then? What we can do is readjust, reset, and make some conscious decisions to say, I don't have to be waiting for this stellar event to occur in order for me to be successful in what God created me to be. I can use what I have in my hands and start doing what I need to do now. I have a camera, I have a computer, I have a phone, I have a voice. Guess what? I am not going to sit here all the time that we have being stuck at home, stay at home routine and a stay at home mandate, and just sit here and do nothing. Oh my God, no, that is not who you're listening to. Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor, is going to share something with you that's going to help you in life. So that you can bank on. And whether it be open mic night, or whether it be updates, or whether it be some tips on how to better your life, or whether it be some more book stuff that I'm writing on, whatever it is, just know that I'm working on what God has put in my spirit. Because what did I tell you earlier? I will leave no stone unturned. When I die, people will be able to say, the ones that I was able to impact, that she went to the extreme to try to make a difference in somebody else's life. That she did not leave a stone unturned. What God put in her spirit to do, she did it. I will not die empty. As Les Brown always talks about, I will not go to my grave empty. I will go kicking and screaming, doing everything I can to have used everything and left everything I could on this earth for somebody else to follow. We don't know who will be able to see these videos. I have no clue who's going to see these videos 100 years from now. What they're going to say, wow, that one point that lady, Kim Jacobs, made helped to shape who I am today. You don't know what your story is going to do to help impact somebody else's life. Who you are is important, and you have to use your gifts and your talents. Don't sit and just lie and let them go dormant, all because you're not sure when the right time is for it to happen, to pop off. Right now is the right time. You have nothing but time on your hands. So make it right now. That's point number 7. Point number 8, and I have 10 points. So point number 8, it is what it is. Point number 8, it is what it is. You can't change the past. None of us can. There are things that's happened in all of our past. Things that we're embarrassed about, things that we are humiliated about, things that we are damaged from, things that we are regretful that they happened, things that we wish we could have changed, things that were out of our control that was done to us that we now have to live with forever. There are so many things that have happened in your past that can try to grip you and paralyze you to prevent you from going on to be everything that you're destined to be in your future. Well, today I'm encouraging you to know that it is what it is. And you can't do a thing about the past. But what you can do is you can change the outcome and the trajectory of your future. So make a conscious decision that as I'm sitting here thinking about my past, and I'm sitting here worried about what the past is going to mean for the future. Girl, bye. I'm not going to worry about no past that I can't do anything about that's going to dictate that future. Now, let me be clear, because I love to make sure I'm clear on everything I'm saying. Our past decisions will impact our future outcome. That does happen. There are some things that I've done in my past, and I don't talk about nobody else. I'm not talking about nobody else's story. This is Kim talking about Kim. There are some things that I've done in my past that I'm not proud of and that may have different consequences. But those consequences come because of the decision that I made at that time. There are things that you've done in your past, and you can't go back and change them. You may have learned from them. You may be a better person now as a result of what happened from your past, and you would love to let that past just boop, be gone. But at the end of the day, there are consequences to our past decisions and our past actions. Now, we ask for God's mercy. We ask for God's grace. We ask for him to say, please, God, be merciful on me in this situation. Because no, our past is not blasted out everywhere, but God knows. God knows, and he sees all. And he knows exactly what we've done every step of the way. And I encourage you, if your past consists of things that you're not proud of, make sure you ask God for forgiveness. If you need to ask another person for forgiveness, do so, or people, or whatever the case may be. And hopefully God, as he is God, will throw it in the sea of forgetfulness. I can't say that about people, because I can definitely tell you there's some things I've dealt with in my past, and yes, I forgive everyone. Fine, you're forgiven. If you and I have ever had any kind of bad whatever, know that you're forgiven. And if I've wronged you in any way, I ask you sincerely, with all that is within me, to forgive me. I'm asking you to forgive me if I've ever wronged anyone. Because sometimes you wrong people knowingly, and other times you wrong people unknowingly. And you don't even know it until someone finally brings it to your attention. So if I've ever done anything to harm, or, well, I don't think I've done anything, but anyway, if I've done something that was harmful from your own perspective, guess what? I sincerely, not even if you are on the receiving end of this, and you know that I've done something from your perspective that just didn't rub you right, and it bothered you and it offended you, I'm asking you for forgiveness. Okay? It is what it is point number 8. We can't do anything about the past. All we can do is go forward and offer life our best. I'm grateful for such a, I don't know, finish typing that point and I'll make sure I make that point. But somebody's typing great facts. I see that you type great facts. Keep it moving. I see that as well. And someone's making another point. Finish your point and I'll make sure you move on. Forgive and move on. The sooner you can forgive people, get it off of your chest and get that weight of the world off of you, you'll feel like light as a feather almost. Like, wow, I'm so grateful that I did this, to just say, I forgive you. Whether a person asks for forgiveness, let's be clear about that too. Whether a person ever asks for forgiveness or not, it doesn't even matter. Forgive them anyway, because it's the right thing to do, so that you can be free enough to let God work with you in a different way so that you can become a better you. It's hard to get to become a better you if you're bogged down with the weight of the world. So forgive and move on. Woo! That was a lot, right? Number 9. Let's see, any other new comments? I can't see over here. Okay. You're a great person to know. Oh, thank you so much. You're a great person to know. That came from our friend Sean Hall. Sean Hall, I love you. Love you, love you, love you. And you're a great person to know by far. And I'm so grateful that we're friends. So grateful. All right, let's see. Let's see, some more people join. Okay. Number 9. We have 10 points. So number 9, find a solution for your life. Find some type of solution. We're constantly thinking about where we are in life and what life has brought us so far. But guess what? We have to decide that if this is not the life that I'm pleased with the outcome so far, what am I going to do that's going to be different so that I get a better outcome for my life? I'm big in believing that insanity is simply doing the same thing over and 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 over again and expect a different outcome. That's not possible. If you keep this thing, you're going to get this all. Or if you keep doing the same thing, you're worse. The thing at some point, it's just in our minds that this isn't working. This way of life is not working. And so I need to actually make some significant changes in my life in order to have a positive, better outcome for my life. Find a solution. I'm a solution specialist when it comes to offering solutions to people's lives. When I do my coaching sessions, I do one-on-one coaching sessions. And when I do sessions, I offer solution sessions. We get on a Zoom, we get on a FaceTime or a Facebook Live private thing. We do whatever we need to do. But during that 1-hour session, I offer customized solutions because I get in advance what your issues are, your top 3 issues that you would like for me to focus on. And I come to the table providing you with solutions for those 3 issues. So when any person that's experienced my 1-hour coaching session can tell you from a testimonial perspective that it changed their lives. It is not a joke. I don't come and have fluff talk. We have a specific structured time for 1 hour that I come bearing straight solutions for your issues that you're dealing with. And that's something that I offer. If any of you are ever interested, you can inbox me. You can also email me at kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, and I'll be happy to do a 1-hour solution session with you. You share your top 3 issues, and I'll deep dive into those issues with solutions for you. So you can balance doctor, and doctor is spelled out, .tv. You're great. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to say that again. You're a great person. And no! She had already said that, and I didn't scroll up to see the rest of the comments. Forgiveness is for you, not the transgressor. Very good point, Sean Hall. The forgiveness is for you. It's not for the transgressor. I talked about that slightly. Don't worry about what person has humbled themselves enough to ask you for forgiveness. Don't worry about that. Because sometimes people don't think that they need to ask you for forgiveness because they don't really say they've done wrong. So all they can is just say, well, that's your problem. And so that's just my problem. It's your problem that you're going to have to deal with whenever God sees fit for you to deal with it. But right now, my problem is that I need to get rid of holding on to it and overthinking it and just get you mentally out of my mind. So I'm actually saying, God, I forgive you, this person, and they are free when it comes to anything to do with me and them not thinking that they're forgiven. They're forgiven. Whoop. Simple as that. Be gone. Okay? Don't let No. What is this saying? Okay, now this video is on YouTube as well, and it's also going to be on my podcast on iHeartRadio, and if you're ever on any of those devices like iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and you name it, this same message that I'm sharing with you right now will be uploaded there, and you can download it to your different devices and you'll have it as well. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow all of the different formats that I put this information out for. I'm trying to make sure that a wide variety of people get exposed to the information that I'm sharing. Okay, so I don't know that I'm going to read this question. What is it? Don't let no Bama keep you out of relationship. That's funny. Okay, now y'all, this is my friend Sean, who is, you know how like Oprah and Gail are for each other? Well, Sean and I are like that for each other. So she's typed in the comment section, don't let no Bama keep you out of relationship with Christ because of their mess. Okay, for all of you that can actually see me, I'm looking so crazy laughing because I can't believe she typed that on my thing. Oh boy, Sean, you're so funny. So be the solution. Yes, be the solution. And Karen Stewart said, your message is powerful and I am going to share it on my wall. Thank you so much, Karen Stewart, for sharing it and I appreciate you. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Yes. Everybody, we all need to make sure we repent in any way, shape, or form. If you feel like let me not say if, we all have something in our hearts that we can repent for. All of us. So I, Kim Jacobs, repent for anything, God, that I've ever done to offend you or your people in any aspect of life. I personally, Kim Jacobs, repent of all of my sins. Anything that is unlike you, I ask that you clean it up and that you allow me to be a better version of me for your glory and for your name's sake. So I personally, since I'm the person doing this video, I personally am leading by sharing my own willingness to repent of anything, whether I know it or don't know it, who cares? I'm asking for forgiveness. All right, I've experienced the session and it is life-changing. Oh, Sean Hall did go through my 1-hour solution session and many other people as well that have been a part of that. You can email me, kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. I have lots of time available to schedule one-on-one sessions. Normally I'm like, I can't be talking a lot because I'm dealing with the children and I'm dealing with the one-on-one sessions and doing my videos, and right now I can do some back-to-back stuff. So let's rock and roll, and I'll give you a nice discount too. So best hour spent. Thank you, Sean. Glad for Jesus being in my life. Great job, Sean. Okay. So number 9 was find a solution for your life. If you are not pleased with where your life is currently headed, find a different solution. Make it a better outcome than the one that you're currently experiencing, because you are in control of that. You can help change your destiny. You can say, God, I don't like this. I'm frustrated with this, and I really want this to change. So what are you going to do to help me map out a better plan? Life. God will be more than number 9. Final is number 10. Sometimes the unparalyzed. Some fight the fear